There's a big fat one, a skinny one, and a medium-sized one. I love Formula Drift.
No stranger to drifting, no stranger to competition.
That guy stole my freaking ratchet wrench. I see that. That's mine.
He rejects your reality and inserted his own.
This is a stimulator, right?
Pilot.
The pole petition.
Matt Shulman still on top with the 69.
Gotcha! Grip this.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Oh, no. I don't want to get copyright infringement.
Copyright your mouth.
Yeah, copyright my face.
Let me get a little slap sticker.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. The Clippy Point episode 73 is on. Just got an alert.
Let's watch it.
Let's watch it. So, anyways, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I can't complain. How about yourself, sir?
I'm just glad that you remembered this week.
Yeah, that was
That was
kind
interesting.
I almost thought you forgot again this week.
No.
You painted dangerously close.
Yeah.
You know, I called him that week, and I'm like, hey, we got a show going? And he's like, oh, yeah, we got a show. And I'm like, okay. So then nothing happens. I should have texted the group chat. I should know not to trust him.
Did you fall asleep? What happened?
No, I kid you not. Like,
thought it was
I
Friday?
completely forgot. I had no clue. I thought it was we were in between Friday. So I was thinking like, oh, we're going to go on this Friday today.
Yeah.
But I was clearly mistaken.
Well, no, you weren't,
no,
because here we are. You're right.
You made it happen.
Made it happen.
Yeah, it definitely worked out.
This coffee is crap. We need to get a
What do you mean I
coffee sponsor.
didn't make it strong? Do you like that Cali coffee place?
just
It's pretty
tastes-
good. Have you been there?
No, it's just horrible.
Wait, what? You haven't been there. Anyways.
Anyways, this coffee tastes like mud. We need a coffee sponsor, so if anybody's willing to sponsor us for coffee.
There's nobody watching right now.
This is horrible.
Yeah. But we'll have to make a cut. You have to make an edit out of that.
Okay.
Yeah. We're really bad at promoting ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should take a class or something, right?
yeah.
A YouTube star class?
No, on motivation.
Motivation. I'm sure there's a lot of motivational speakers. I don't think there's a problem with that. I just think it's just taking the opportunity to go and sit down and take a class. Like Paul did when he went to Chelsea School of Drifting.
Yes.
With Reese
Maybe
Marin.
Noel's doing a class.
You know,
on
we
motivation.
need. Yeah. Well, maybe we could. Well, you know, I'm sorry. You know what we need to do? We need to get somebody to shoot us a commercial.
Ah, yes. Good thing. Glad you bring that up. We have Black Friday coming up, and Black Friday, it's going to be in a crazy event with a lot of crazy driving, big turnout, and I think it's a perfect opportunity for any businesses, whether small or large, to be able to jump in on this great opportunity to be able to advertise. That's right. So if you have any interest in getting your brand out there, reach out to us and we can work something out to try to get your business promoted during the live broadcast of the OSW Black Friday King of OSW competition taking place November 18 on Saturday.
Who was the current king?
The current king is Sean Booth.
Sean Booth. Oh.
Sean Booth.
Yeah. We got to talk to Christian because I know that the insurance company that he knows, or was it him? I think it was him, or was that
Chris Rios.
Chris Rios? There you go. We got to talk to them, reach out to them, see if they want to send us a commercial and throw us some cash so we can cover our costs. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
And that's the show.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
No, but we did have the final round of U.S. Drift Circuit, and Gabby,
Yeah,
You need a new mechanic. I know you're not going to listen to us. And then Ben told us that you were talking mad trash about me and Paul, and how we gave you too much information.
That was setting
was-
confidence.
Oh,
Well, I
you
think
didn't say that.
I think
though.
something that reinstilled him was that Sarah also came over to him and said, "You were doing so much better before Tim and Paul arrived."
Whoa!
Yeah, so it's
Oh, okay.
He got a lot of back, ever since they started telling you to do something. He really started sucking.
I didn't tell him anything about his line.
I know.
Okay, well,
What is going on?
At least we know that if we show up, Gabby's gonna lose.
so we didn't show up this last weekend. So you proved that theory wrong. I think at OSW, Gabby was struggling. Well, he's always fighting his car. So I think.
Well, he actually found out what that problem was on that.
Yeah,
one
and then
because
now
it
he's got a new
throttle.
problem.
He just keeps on making problems for himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you need
Gabby,
somebody.
problem bean.
Right. You get. I don't know. I think need to take it somewhere that can go through the car and check all that stuff in advance, or you got to check everything, even the stuff that you wouldn't think. But whatever. It's always next year.
Well, I thought the other interesting thing about the event, I mean, because we could go on and on about Gabby's performance.
The thing is that Gabby can do it. Gabby's
got the skill.
It's not the skill problem. It's the car. The car's holding the back.
He needs more grip, bro.
Yeah, he needs way more grip. He needs like
more grip.
375s.
375.
Yeah. And some kind of prep, like
wheel prep,
like
spray compound, some kind of.
What do they call it? I forget the name of it.
Wait, are you trying to say that maybe he needs somebody with a blowtorch?
Yes,
to
heat up the ground
and the tires, so that way when he takes off, he's on fire.
Oh yeah.
And that'll add to his performance.
Speaking of fire,
that'll actually give him X Factor points.
X Factor points.
They were trying to figure out what that X Factor points are, but that's what it is.
Who was judging this last one?
Noel.
Judging, well, yes, the Holy One, as some may call him. And that he was one of them. Piner
and
Adam Ginkel.
I know. I saw
Which,
Adam.
talking about Adam Ginkel, what I found interesting in the event is that Nick Ward borrowed his car to compete in the event.
I saw that. Well, because Nick Ward's car was in Vegas.
Yeah,
just actually caught fire. Did you see that?
Oh, what?
Fire in Vegas?
Yeah, you didn't see it. Him and
no,
Ryan doing a burnout, and he's doing a burnout. There's fire underneath the car, and he's still doing a burnout. I'll pull it up.
Oh no!
Again, with the fire. That
Was-
car.
Yeah. I mean, he's already had
I don't know how many
more
fires
than
he's had.
He doesn't need another one.
Yeah, no more fires.
Not only that, but maybe that's his way to retire the car.
Light it on fire.
Yeah.
That's a good way to retire.
And then now for next year, he's got to rent Adam's car
Adam's car the whole season
for the whole season, all 4 events.
Yeah.
And yeah.
because he in this last round he got knocked out of the championship.
It's actually pretty cool video.
Them at the burn yard.
Yeah, but did you see it? Did you see the car catch fire?
I didn't see the car catch fire, but I did see them going round and round.
Is it on Instagram?
Yeah, it's on
Oh, yeah,
Instagram.
actually?
Go to Taxi
okay,
Garage
yeah,
Instagram.
I'll look it up.
It's pretty serious. But anyhow, so Kelsey wasn't there, I guess.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think she was there.
I'm not sure.
I think this reason they had the 4 judges was because of there was rounds that she wasn't going to be available for. Would make sense because this was SEMA, so she's probably at SEMA.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
it
was
makes
at
more
SEMA, yeah.
sense, or she'd be at SEMA.
Yeah, but Chris went to SEMA right after.
Yeah, but it's
She has to be there because
Yeah.
her car's there and everything.
yeah.
I don't know.
What is there to do at SEMA? What's the big deal about SEMA?
I think
It's like big car shows. I mean, it's cool. It's like it's a convention. You like going to auto show conventions? It's basically a convention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Vegas, I'm not a fan of Vegas. I think Vegas sucks. I don't gamble.
I mean, you made it well known when I went to Vegas. You're like, I hate it here. I hate it here.
It's
It
just
sucks.
so depressing. I mean,
And
the
like
houses
everything's
match
dead.
the dirt, and everything's dead.
Yeah.
And it really, and you go
all
in
the hotels smell like cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'll
You
give
can't tell
that.
who the hooker is.
They're all
hookers. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it just so happens that you had a pretty wild experience when you try to get out of the track and into the city. And the one time that happened, it just we were like, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, the sign, the Las Vegas sign.
The Las
one,
Vegas sign.
where
That's
the
what I'm
lady
talking
was-
about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like,
You're
kid licking. I'm like, yeah, you're drunk. I mean, I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not. I go, and it was after a full day of like being at the racetrack. I'm like boogers coming out my nose and stuff. Yeah, it was weird.
It was fun times. Well, for me at least. Paul, what was your take on it? You were like,
I was like, what are we doing? Where are we going? You guys
Problem was the freaking Tesla. That was the biggest problem.
Yeah.
I
was
mean,
irritated
insult to
about it.
injury, really.
"No, it wasn't."
It was
The
salt
Tesla,
in
the Tesla ruined everything. Really.
Yeah, what fun
if
we
we
would
would have
have.
like a
Suburban?
a big Suburban, it would have been nice. We'd be chilling.
I would love Vegas.
Yeah, that would have been. It would.
You would have
change
changed. You
for
could
me.
have changed my mind on Vegas, but
Yeah.
no. Actually, you just
You got to make it
stamped it like deeper in, like you know, like just
really
put your
hate
foot on
Vegas.
it and, you know, pushed it. And my whole hopes and dreams of liking Vegas down the toilet. Pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, this year, no, next year, Vegas, no more Teslas.
No more Teslas.
No more Teslas.
Por favor.
And no more superchargers, maybe.
No, I should need another supercharger. I should be good with that.
What if you do from now until then? You're like, "Oh, I need another supercharger."
You need to give your card to Bryce and them and just have them finish
That's
it.
what I'm thinking about.
I told him, I was like, I'm trying to get my brother to just give him. He's like, yeah, bring it in.
Yeah, because it's just like, every day I look at it. No, I actually did some work on it. I actually got some of the firewall cut out. and
Oh,
stuff
good.
like that, so.
Good. It's therapeutic, isn't it? You just kind of get in there. I mean, it's hard work, but
No, I smashed my finger. It wasn't therapeutic. I actually hurt myself.
yeah, but it's a good hurt. It's a good pain.
It was a good hurt.
It's good hurt. Good pain.
No, I hate the smell of grinding discs. So that's why I've been putting it off so long, because I'm like, the only way to properly cut all this stuff out is to
No.
use a grinder.
Get the little saw that with the air
I
saw.
did that, but I don't have an air compressor anymore.
You would borrow this on wheels. Just borrow it.
Yeah, well, anyways. Either way, I cut it out with a grinding disc, and I've been...
Yeah,
it's
you should have told me. I have even have the notcher that goes on the drill.
You have the notcher, dude?
Yeah,
Yeah, I should have came by and did that.
doesn't think.
Yeah.
Just does stuff on his own, freelancing.
Stupid. So I did one side. I just got to do the other side, and then I can make little patch panels, weld them up, and then I can move on to the next thing. And then after that, it should, be a little easier. But what I will do is probably take the car to him to have
The next
cage
one,
done.
not that one. The one after that.
Are you sure?
Yes, 100%. Pause it.
Because it's not fire in this one.
No, next one. Trust me, the next one.
Okay. All right.
The one with the fire in it, maybe.
There, no, this one right here.
This is not the one with the fire.
This is the one with fire. Watch.
Holy cow!
Hang on, just wait. Yeah, not everybody can see it yet. There we go.
You need to rewind it.
Notice that?
I mean, it's pretty serious. Like,
When you're in the zone,
And he just kept.
you're
on
not
going.
going to pay attention to this kind of things.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, there you go. We can watch it full. Anybody that's watching or watches later on can see it. Look at it. Look how much fire is underneath that car.
Holy cow!
For those of you who are just listening, we're watching Nick Ward from Taxi Garage doing a burnout over in Las Vegas at the
Well, that
Hoonigan
KVD
Burn Yard, and it just so happens that his car caught fire
Yeah. To be a little more
in the
descriptive,
middle of it of the burnout.
you got Nick Ward on one side in his 240SX. You have Ryan
looks pretty
Kaufman.
freaking cool, though.
Yeah, it looks great. Check it. You can check the video out on Taxi Garage Instagram. And then you have Ryan Kaufman directly opposite, nose facing nose. In between the two, you have a little backhoe that's doing like a Indo. And so they're kind of doing a burnout facing each other, pushing against the backhoe. The backhoe. That is a backhoe, isn't it?
No,
What is it?
it's a
Mini backhoe.
No, backhoe.
It's just little backhoe. Whatever it
Yeah,
is.
how is it? I just don't even understand. It
Yeah,
caught on
multiple
fire.
fires. Yeah, multiple fires.
It
This
just
guy.
caught on fire underneath.
Yes,
That's
tire
a lot
spark.
of freaking fire, dude.
Maybe Chris Forsberg was there. I don't know.
I don't know how he didn't notice that was not how that was happening. I
Well,
maybe
It's
he
like,
just went with
why are people walking up to me with fire extinguishers?
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to hell, I'm in it. Let's just go.
Let's burn the sucker down.
just all the way down. Well, it's not the burn yard unless you have actual burn.
Fire. That's a good point.
Yeah. What's that other one with that just has flames? Is that the one you clicked? The one with the flames?
Yeah, the one with
Yeah.
the flames. Yep.
That one? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I clicked.
Okay, that was pretty crazy, Nick.
But anyways, we
Next
did get
level.
sidetracked. who won their license or their?
So who took the championship
Was Lons, right?
Well, Louis Lons. He won the championship.
Yeah, Louis Lons did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then it was Tassinero, and then it was Avocado.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. As far as the event winners, right?
No, the championship too.
Oh yeah.
It was, or maybe Tassinero wasn't in there. Who else was it? I thought it was.
I'll
I thought
look it up.
Tassinero, but it was maybe not.
Come on, Paul.
What?
Trust
I
your
don't follow the
trust your instinct, my
trust
friend.
instincts.
Yes.
Oh. Tassinero was doing pretty good though.
Yeah,
Tassinero
he was.
doing
I
pretty
know. Saw some good pictures with him and Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden seemed to be pretty proud of him.
Yeah, he was doing pretty good. And then Ryan's car was on another. I mean, he was on another level. That guy, he was doing really good.
All right, here we go. Got the winners, championship winners. Louis Lons in first, Ryan Acevedo second, Steven Tassinero in third. Round 4 winners, Ryan Acevedo in first, Steven Tassinero in second, and Sasha Prospero in third.
Yeah,
Those are your winners.
Sasha's doing pretty good too. So maybe next year, Sasha,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Now I don't know.
Well, Ryan won't go. Right? No, Sasha. Maybe Nick will do it again. But Ryan will move to Prospect, I'm assuming. I mean, that car's a Prospect car.
No, but they only get one license. So only the first place winner gets one.
No, if all three get
No, only the first place.
Only the first place?
Only the
gets?
first place. Yep. Only one. Yes.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
I heard the same.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well,
Because Texas
lot you
gives
don't
it to
know.
like the top 3.
well, this ain't Texas, pal.
Yeah, exactly.
We can only afford one.
So, but the thing is, from what I understand, from what Gabby was saying, I don't know if Ryan is sick or maybe Gabby's driving was making him nauseous. But,
Wait, Ryan who?
Ryan Acevedo was sick.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ryan Sage for whatever reason. I hear Ryan. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Ryan
My
Acevedo was
apologies.
Ryan. I don't know how Ryan was doing. Was he sick or what was going on? Anybody know what happened to him?
I have no idea.
I heard he wasn't feeling good, but I don't know exacts, but he did pretty good for if he was sick.
It's probably all the fumes of gasoline coming out of the back of Gabby's car. All the gas fuel leaking.
No, I mean, have you ever heard those noises
electrical
that can cause you
fire?
to shit your pants? There's like a brown note. That's what his car does to you. It makes people throw up.
I've never heard
I
of
want to
this.
research.
You never
that.
heard of that?
No, but I want to get that note and just go to the mall. Go to the mall. Just play it in the mall.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's certain frequencies that can. Maybe Gabby's car's frequencies that makes people want to puke. I mean, that's what it does to me every time I hear it. It's pretty nauseating.
I'm just kidding. He should swap the motor though. But anyways,
Yeah, but to what? That's the question.
anything.
An FJ motor.
I mean, you
Two
got
cycle rotor. Two cycle. Actually,
2-cycle.
do we have another main topic? I put a liquid piston rotary in there.
Oh, that thing.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, liquid piston. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
of it. It's
that's
like a
what you
rotary, but it's
For if they make it bigger, it would be.
yeah, that thing's been around for a while.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
All right. Well, let's see what is.
This is an option for Gabby. He'd be the first one ever. Maybe he gets sponsored.
A liquid piston.
It was designed for airplanes to be lightweight, 10 times more power, 30% more efficient.
Okay. All right. So, what kind of applications can this go on to?
Anything your heart desires. It's an engine. You put it on whatever you want. Generators.
Your cell phone.
Look,
Wait.
Go-karts.
What?
Your iPhone can be powered
Yep,
by a
your
liquid
iPhone
piston.
can be powered by liquid piston.
What?
It's tiny. It's a small engine. But look, you can put whatever you want to put it in. It's small. Generators, I think, is the so instead of a regular rotary that has a triangle on the inside, this has a triangle on the outside. Triangle on the outside.
All right.
Hey, it works.
Yeah.
They got contracts with the government right now. Look, see, there you go, right there.
Yeah,
It's like I know. Let's flip the rotary.
Flip the rotary. Let's put the housing on the inside
Yeah.
and the rotor on the outside. That's basically.
You won't have to worry about.
Wow.
wanna
What
invest?
the heck?
You wanna
Invest
invest?
now? No, I don't. Not yet. I want to get all the information first.
Yeah, go back up so we can see the actual movement of it again. Yeah,
Right
look
here,
at that.
this.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll put now they have the seals in the block. Now this is very similar technology to a compressor rotary. A compressor rotary is similar, it's just round, and the seal is actually in the casing versus not in the rotor
Yeah,
itself.
so the apex seals are built into the actual housing instead of into the rotor itself.
Yep,
It's literally they flipped out. They inverted a rotary.
they did.
They took the housing, put it inside, and then put the rotor around the outside. That's interesting.
There you go, Gabby.
I don't think Gabby wants
How much power?
I don't know.
10 times. 10 times.
10
the
times
power.
more, 30%
10 times
more
more.
efficient. So whatever the old one was, 10 times that. And look at all the people.
And
Look
the
at, all
dog.
the, look at all the great people.
Yeah. With
Maybe
their
you can
thumbs.
find a wife there somewhere.
They all still have their thumbs.
They have their thumbs.
That's,
That's a plus. There's a dog.
Wait, is it a thing where rotary people lose their thumbs or something?
Yeah, I know. You can always, the apex seals bite them
Yeah.
off.
Oh, wow.
When you're porting your block, oh, there goes my thumb. Shoot. No more thumbs. Yeah, so-
Anyhow, that was an
I
idea.
mean, I see 40 horsepower here. It
40
says
horsepower.
diesel.
Diesel.
X4 engine.
for DARPA.
Darpa. I'm sure you can get. You just make a bigger version. I'm sure you can, apply for sponsorships. Put it in a go-kart.
Go-kart.
But look how small it is. Tiny,
Yeah.
lightweight. So it's the idea
mean,
is
if
it's
it's-
really lightweight.
If it's that small, you could probably fit maybe 20 of those into an engine bay.
Yeah,
Just put a big belt.
Super long,
Connect them with a big belt.
yeah, it's a big belt.
Well, that's interesting, though.
I thought it was cool.
I mean, what gas does it take? What sort of combustion? Like regular gas?
Yeah,
we don't know.
Diesel.
Diesel, yeah. One was diesel, right?
that was diesel. A diesel rotary. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be.
Can you imagine
rolling
that?
coal.
Diesel rotary.
Rolling coal with a rotary.
That'd be pretty cool.
Okay. I mean, I don't even know what to make of that, honestly.
It's interesting.
Dwell on.
I mean, I'll dwell on it, but I'm just thinking about like different ways people could go and try to obtain power, because you're probably getting to the limit of what can be reliably outputted
okay.
on a drift car to be able to be competitive. So it's only a matter of time that they try to come up with some other means of engine output or power
Well,
output.
I think they're going to go
Check out my
electric.
other link.
Your other link?
That's more power.
That's even more power? Oh,
More
boy.
power. Yep,
Okay,
more
we're going to have
when
to
you
check
need
that
more
out
power.
now.
Yep. You want more power? I got more power for you.
Toyota's working on it.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, no.
I know what you're
they
talking
are.
about.
What are you talking-
Alcohol.
frickin- No, not alcohol. No,
It's,
ammonia.
yeah, same
An
thing.
ammonia
There's an
engine.
A in the beginning of it. Alcohol, ammonia.
Alcohol, pneumonia. That's,
The hydrogen-powered supercar.
Hang on.
oh, God.
Just setting it up. Hang on.
Wow.
You and the hydrogen.
Telling
Hey,
you.
I'm on the same boat. What are you talking about? I
Toyota,
like this.
Toyota moved on to ammonia.
1,000 miles on a
Up on
single
hydrogen.
tank.
Now this I like. Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So what do we
Pressed
got here?
hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Generates more than 1,000 horsepower. You can get up to 1,000 miles on
It's
one
electric motors.
tank. It's not electric.
Yes, it is.
Compressed hydrogen
It says-
and it's electric motor together.
It's electric motors.
But it's not pure electric.
it's
hydrogen.
100% electric.
Boogie woogie woogie.
It's 100% electric.
Oh, so it uses the hydrogen. Well, that's
it
fine.
converts the hydrogen to power.
That's fine
Why? That's fine.
because you don't have to charge it.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. No, they use the hydrogen to convert it to energy instead of a battery.
Mm-hmm. It's a better idea.
Hydrogen gas is light, except for you're just driving around with a giant bomb in the back of your car.
It's not a hydrogen bomb. You were
It's-
building that in my freaking kitchen.
No, it's not.
He was. You were. Pop, pop.
Looks
And then I
like-
remember the one time that Paul decided, oh, I'll light this Christmas tree on fire 5 feet away from your front door. I just want to see what happens.
It actually caught fire. Wow.
Christmas tree?
Christmas
A
trees.
Christmas tree.
They blow up.
So Paul ruined Christmas.
Ruined Christmas.
No, it was after Christmas. It was after.
It was before Christmas.
It was not before Christmas.
It was before
It was
Christmas.
not before Christmas.
It was before Christmas.
Oh, you crazy.
Is there a release date on this?
No. I don't know.
We're aiming to give a sense of
It's been out
pride
for
what
it's
America
they've
has
been talking
done in
about it
the
for a little
past.
while. But what did you think about the new GTR? All electric.
Oh gosh, that
Isn't that a
thing.
piece of trash? Oh, it's a GTR. I could tell by its 4 round lights.
Yeah,
so
don't get me
stupid.
started
Yeah.
with that. I don't.
Well, at least it doesn't make an annoying noise. They probably program an annoying noise in there.
Yeah.
We've harnessed the noise of the VQ.
I'm just wondering will we ever get to the point where it'll be a viable all-electric drift series?
Hopefully
I
never.
think it's happening. I mean, I don't think you're.
They should do
having
an all diesel drift series, all truck drift series.
trucks.
That'd be great.
Truck series.
Truck series. I've been saying that for a while. That'd be fun.
No, I think electric is going to be the next thing because then you can regulate that easier. Because
It's not anytime soon. The logistics of it are just it's not going to happen.
what do you mean? They can run 2 laps and just swap out the batteries.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like a pain. And then the you'll need special fire trucks and everything to put the batteries out when they explode.
It's a dunk tank.
Yeah, it's just
It's a
dunk
dunk
tank.
tank.
Just dunk the whole car, driver and all. He's gonna drown. Oh yeah, we got to put the fire out first.
No, it's I don't know. Something's got to happen. I just don't know what's going to happen. Something has to change in drifting, and I think they pushed them. I don't think they pushed the engines to the max, but I think they're definitely not increasing like they were. They were like stepping up 200 horsepower like every round, every season. Now it's kind of they leveled out again.
Well, I think the changes that shouldn't be to the cars. I think the cars are what they're going to be. You're going to let the teams develop the cars, but it's the event in a whole needs to.
Well, I mean, the
revamped.
problem is that what I'm saying is the drivers always want to be faster than the other drivers. So where do they push it from here? That's my thing. It's like where do they innovate from here? So I don't know.
Or do they put a cap on it and just put everybody start? But I don't think that's ever going to happen. I mean, maybe it will.
I don't know. I think this year is going to be a different. I mean, 2024 is going to be, I think, a transformative year. I think, or that it'll start being talked about. Maybe 2025 will be more of a change of how drifting works. I think there's going to be a difference in the coming 2 years for drifting, whether the style of competition changes or there's different regulations or just something to change it up. I think we've been doing the same thing for 20 years, right? So I think that I think you hit a threshold where something needs to kind of change in the formula.
Yeah. But that being said, we're talking about the evolution of a motorsport. Me and Paul went to a NASCAR event.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's something that we can talk about. So I got box seats, I guess, for Homestead NASCAR. It wasn't.
my invite got lost in the mail.
It
How?
You would have
only-
been frustrated
it
with
was
us.
stupid.
You wouldn't.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Okay.
like the box seats that we had in the Panthers. It
Okay,
wasn't like
all
that
right,
at all.
all right.
So I got one. I got 2 tickets. So I asked Tim to go with me, and so he said, "Yeah, we'll check it out." So we go drive down there. An hour drive down to Homestead, and we pull up, which we basically parked in an area that nobody checked our park. Like you have to pay to park, but nobody checked that we had the proper
Credentials?
Yeah.
all we did was say is we're in blue, and they're like, oh yeah, you go here. We got blue parking pass.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to jump ahead of the story, but you could literally go to a Homestead Speedway NASCAR event and just have your phone open with anything on it, and you can literally go all the way up to the skyboxes. Nobody checks a darn thing.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We walked through the gate. They didn't scan it. He just kind of showed, and they're like, "Okay, go ahead."
Yeah, we
And
got
then,
all the way to the skybox without anybody checking actual
like we were
credentials.
like volunteering the information, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll go up to the whatever floor." And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
and if you were like a good like BSer, you could probably get in the skybox and make.
There is no
make
reason
friends.
to pay for a NASCAR Homestead Miami event. Now, maybe earlier in the day, maybe because we went after it started, maybe that's
Yeah.
why I was a little laxed. That could be why. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
I'll give them that because they apparently Pitbull was playing earlier, right, or
Yeah, there
something.
was some concerts.
So maybe they were a little stricter. But when we went, it had already started, and we literally
There's
just
a lot
walked
of
all the way
people
through,
there.
and a lot of people there, and it is ridiculously loud. I never been to a NASCAR event before. It
It is like Gabby's car times 10.
Oh no.
It was
Wow.
like
Think of it this way: think of you're tied up, And the only thing hanging out of the back of Gabby's car through the hatch is your head. And he's driving all the way to Orlando
at 9,000 RPM.
Yeah, 9,000 RPM. Okay? Just think of that. Okay?
You're right. Okay.
How fun would that be?
And he's also in a tunnel.
Yeah, and he's in a tunnel.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. So
Yes.
it was loud.
It's and then it's loud, right? But then there's also like this resonance that's happening. So it's like just blow your ears out loud, and then wow, 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 wow. The whole place is going. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
So when there's a resonance because of the sound.
Yeah, when they start them all together, it's loud and kind of goes around the track. Yeah, it's loud, but then after the race goes on for a little bit,
And they're all
everybody's so
separated?
far spread apart. There's constantly cars going. The most exciting thing is watching them change the tires in
Yeah,
the pit.
the pit was really cool. Watching them pit and seeing how why they decide to kind of pit together. It's like interesting because you get a couple guys pit, and then these other guys are going around, and then you have like 10 that decide to pit after that. And it's like, how does that even work? Like, I don't really know too much.
Bobby pitted.
Well, Bobby pitted. Let's pit.
Maybe we should pit too.
It's like,
Get Ricky and Joe in here. We need to get them pitted in here real quick. I don't know.
another thing that was kind of like, I'm like, how much I took for granted is the positioning system. Like, how does that work in all the different racing things? How do they know exactly when this guy passes this guy? Like, how do they do that whole system? I was like, I didn't even
I'm
think
sure they
about
have GPS
that.
trackers. They gotta have GPS.
I guess, but it just seems like it's like, wow, I didn't even think about that. Like, as soon as this guy like passes him by a hair, he's already boop.
Yeah, you see, because there's not constantly a leaderboard that's being displayed in the middle of the track.
Yeah. It's not like just as like every lap it gets updated. It's just freaking as they're bouncing back and forth, the position gets updated. So it's like, wow, I don't know how they even do that. It's
So
just
point
interesting to me.
Being and bringing that up is NASCAR. Where did it start? Right. It started with the bootleggers back in the day. They would soup up their cars and they would race on the beach over in Daytona, and it went from that to what it is today. That being said, that was probably when was Prohibition? It was 1950s, 40s.
A long time ago.
Long time ago. Yeah, it was around the time of the war, right? World War, around that time.
But let me ask you this then: how was, in your point of view, the run of show? Was there constant delays, or did you get a sense that there was like constant action?
Well, once it starts, yeah, it just keeps going. Okay. Disclaimer. We got there. We drove almost an hour down there. We were there for what, half hour?
Yeah.
45 minutes at
Yeah.
most. And we literally just like, we've had enough.
Boring.
And we literally,
Are you serious?
We
Yeah.
spent more
No
time
way.
driving there and back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were not there for an hour
Yeah.
before we're like,
This was so stupid. Yeah.
this is
You
suck.
guys are something else.
What?
Because you did the same thing at Formula Drift
It
when
was
they were
hot.
down there.
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
Homestead
yeah,
Miami
yeah.
Hey,
Speedway.
and to our defense, Rich was right there with us. He was all on board. It's
Yeah,
too
it was
hot
like,
here.
Yeah, it's too freaking hot.
It's too hot.
Let's get out of here. But yeah, no, it was the same thing. It's just, I don't know what it is about Homestead. I got a bad thing with Homestead. But no, it was just boring. It's like watching the pit was cool, but being out there on the stands, like you're in the skybox and the seats are not very great anyways. And then everybody's sitting inside the actual little glass room because nobody wants to be outside because it's so freaking
So it's really
loud.
crowded in this little tiny room, and
Yeah.
everybody's eating hamburgers and hot dogs and drinking vodka.
Yeah. it's
I mean,
like-
how much? And we were the only ones that knew each other. I mean, the one guy, I don't know, he didn't know the people that invited us there.
Yeah.
He basically got an invite. His boss.
It
couldn't
wasn't
go.
chill like the Panthers one. The Panthers one, we kind of just ate and did what we want, and we're just cool. We had
Yeah.
our own chairs. Everything was really nice. This was a tiny little room.
or outside in dreadful, horrible noise. And we didn't have any earphones or we didn't have any earplugs. We didn't plan ahead.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
So-
I didn't think it would be that loud. I just really didn't think it'd be that loud.
What were you guys thinking you were going into?
I didn't know. I'd never been.
Right, I understand you've never been, but you should have expected. I mean, I don't know. What were your expectations?
I
guess
thought
just,
Tom Cruise was going to be there or Ricky Bobby. I mean, that's what I was expecting. Something like that.
No, I was thinking it'd be loud, but I didn't think it'd be like that loud.
Okay, there we
I
go.
I'm like drifting is loud, so I'm like it's got to be.
Oh, this is
something-
nothing.
No, drifting is nothing compared to that. That is like
Insane.
a whole nother level. It's like that puts like the sound level of that is like standing like if you're following drift cars from maybe like 5 feet away. the entire
Okay,
time.
remember when we were at Vegas
Yes.
Yeah.
and we couldn't hear each other talk,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but we got little breaks in between cars?
Right.
It was like that.
Oh,
You couldn't even hear yourself talk.
Yeah.
It was pretty.
Yeah, I was
pretty
talking
loud.
to Tim, and he's like, I can't understand what you're talking about. What are you saying? And we were like right next to
And
each
there are
other.
thousands of people just doing this. Yeah,
There wasn't much excitement, no.
No.
So I don't know why people could say, how can they
Maybe the
sit-
pre-show. Maybe they go for the pre-show. I'm sure there was probably Pitbull, Dale, Mr. 305 Worldwide.
To me,
doing that
but
stuff.
the thing to me is like, there's no way that is better than watching a drift event. There's
I
no
agree.
way.
I agree. But back to my point. That is what. When did we find out when NASCAR started?
Oh,
Find out when it started. I want
Come on, Paul.
to say it was formally started probably like 56 or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea.
1947.
I was close. Less than 10 years off. Anyways,
Yeah.
my first guess was better. But so 47, what's 76 years ago? So 76 years from now, you're doing my math, right?
Yeah.
I was right.
No.
47?
90, 80.
No, 76.
It's 23.
Right. So
It's
if it was
47.
yes, 76.
76.
Let me bring
on,
out the
guys.
calculator. Okay, where are we? 2023.
If it was
what year? 1946?
47.
6 or 47?
77. 76. Yeah, you're right.
Freaking heck.
I was just testing you.
You're testing me. You guys couldn't do it in your head. That's pretty bad.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so we'll see where drifting is another 50 years from now. We'll be dead.
We'll be
Yeah.
dead. We'll be dead.
Can you imagine?
I won't be dead.
Can we get an update on your car? Because
Hey, wait,
I
what's-
just
what is
realized
this thing?
something that's a different BMW. And two, the other thing I noticed is that last time Paul and I cast a lot of doubt on your ability to be able to get the car ready for Black Friday. I still don't
No, I don't think
know
it's
if
gonna
you're going to
be-
be able to, but you seem very adamant and very sure that you're going to be able to get the car ready for Black Friday.
No,
So
I said it was a possibility. It still is a possibility. It depends on how I want to push it.
Paul, you want to back me up on this?
Yeah, you were pretty adamant. Like, why you guys are
Well, you were like, "There's no way." I'm like, "There is." It depends on how much I want to push it, right? I should get the car back from Bryce this week, and then I just have to take it to the dyno, right? But there's a wrench in the works where the drive shaft on my truck is bent, and I can't tow anything. I don't even want to drive over 65 miles an hour, so I had to order that. So I'm not towing anything anywhere. I'm going to tow it back, but I'm going to take side streets. I'm not going to take the highway. As long as I don't go over 60, I'm fine.
When you just let me know when you're picking up. I can tow it back for you. With it.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah. So,
But it would depend on that. Basically, I could pick it up from Bryce and take it to the dyno the weekend after. But I think that's rushing two things too fast.
yeah.
You know, so.
No, I agree.
But is it possible? It's possible. We'll
You
just-
can also land on the moon. It's possible.
no, because there's a dome over there. You can't get through it.
Oh God. Okay.
Anyways, but so the point being, and I told Bryce I don't want him to rush. I want him to take his time, do what he's got to do, and he's doing some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I saw
Really
it.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
Sorry.
Oh,
it's definitely in
Keep
great
going.
hands right now. He's doing something with the Drift Sessions logo on the car. I don't know what it is. He sent me a little kind of screenshot of it. I'm pretty excited to see how it comes out. And he's doing, for those people that don't know, he's doing the firewall and touching up some things that need touching up and cleaning up. And then
What's the name of the shop?
Brake Bank.
Yeah, Break Bank. So
Yeah. It's like a conglomeration of whatchamacallit? Adam, Ginkel, Bryce, and I always forget the other guy's name. Kyle, I think Kyle. Because I actually text him like, well, what's the other guy's name? I always forget his name. And he's usually like always the one that's there too. So anyways, that's why the 30 is in the garage, because remember that video that I did when I got the car and I said it doesn't leak?
Yeah, it leaks.
It leaks.
Leaks everywhere.
Leaks a lot.
It leaks all
It
over
like
the place.
ruined my pavers and my driveway kind of leaks. I got to flip the
Wow.
pavers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Can't
pretty
even
bad.
boil it out.
No, because I had it. What do you call it? Sealed.
Oh.
So when you heat the sealant, it turns black. Trust me, I tried that already. But yeah. Man, what's his name?
Just acid dip the sealant and then unseal it.
I got to try some stuff. I was just gonna flip the pavers.
The papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, something else.
Mm.
No, Bryce does great work. He did great work on Gabriel's whole rear radiator setup. So
Tyler, sorry,
yeah,
Tyler, Adam, and Bryce, Break Bank crew.
so yeah, if you guys,
If you can get it in there, because I know they're slam busy and they're doing some good work. Really
They
good work
definitely
there.
do good
Yeah,
work.
the shop's nice and clean, so it's just good.
yeah, no, I saw Adam like literally take apart a whole front end of an S14, all the spot welds, undo them because somebody botched a right hand drive swap.
Oh, God.
So this guy brought it to them to basically. Adam took apart a whole front clip with all the spot welds, took it all apart, and put it together on this other S14 and spot welded it back together. It looked like a factory. Like
Wow.
it looked insane
Well, it's
after
good.
it was done. Yeah, it was crazy. So they definitely do good work. So
Yeah.
I think that's where I'll probably take the car to get the cage put in
Yeah.
because he doesn't miss any welds.
Yeah. Wow. So that's another thing. He was able to fill in all the He had to fill in some welds on the cage that Chris missed.
With what?
With welding rods.
So Chris did the cage, and there was like 2 or 3 spots that he missed. So he took care of those
Finished
for me.
welding them.
Plus,
Okay.
so now also Chris forgot to do the front intrusion bars. I'm not gonna have him do it. I'll do those. I wouldn't want to wish that upon anybody because that's not going to be fun. But
Well, he did. Bryce did them for.
Yeah, Gabby's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyhow, so this is in here because I'm trying to get the leak off the driveway, and I've been trying to sell it. Looks like I'm probably not going to sell it, so I've already started looking up parts and stuff for this car. So I'm probably.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
What
do?
are you looking to do?
What am I looking to do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, pal?
What depends, right? So
no.
ideally, swap it to a manual. I like the M20. Getting the M20 intake
Why don't you
manifold
just take mine.
because I can't sell this. What am I gonna do with 2?
No, I take my manual.
The
Yeah,
transmission out of it.
it's got the whole swap in there.
I didn't think about that.
You just swap it.
Well,
there too.
when I get time.
Yeah.
Right. I got to work on the other car first, but swap those to manual, turbocharge it, but not drift car. Not drift car. Wide body, make it look nice. What's wrong with it? What are you shaking your head for? Nobody's gonna buy it. I've been trying to sell it. What are you shaking your head for?
I just don't like. You don't need any more distractions. all
I
right?
don't. You're absolutely right. That's why I said I'm not
but
going to
here it
start
is.
on this now. But yet here it is. Yet here it is.
But yet here it is.
Yet here it is.
Oh, Timmy.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I got 3 cars.
Yeah.
That all don't
No,
run.
yeah, you're much worse. You're
Well, I'm
like you
focusing
need
on the-
therapy.
I'm going to focus on the other car first. Totally focus on the other car first.
All right. Okay. All right.
This isn't costing me anything. The wife doesn't like it. She wishes I could sell it. And I wish I could sell it too. I mean, $5,000. Anybody wants it? $5,000. It runs, drives, AC works, everything works. It's got some rust. That's the
Like,
problem.
Comes with the territory, I guess, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah, it
does.
does. Yeah.
And it's in the typical spots that they all
rust.
rust. But it's fixable. I'm not really too worried about it. Yeah. But they're all the 3 out there. Unless you have $15,000 to spend, you're buying a project.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're old cars and they're rust buckets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did he tell you that he found? Remember the old E30 I had that with
Yes.
cages?
We spoke about this.
Did you see the pictures of it?
I saw photos.
Oh my gosh!
The cage is literally rusted out of it.
Yeah,
Like,
you could probably
you could probably pull the cage out of it.
if you cut, you'd have to cut the roof off. You pull the cage right out because all the rust, all the plates that I welded are
or
there,
completely hanging. Like,
but they're not the welds where they were welded into the chassis of the car.
they're all gone.
So you basically cut the roof off, pull the cage right out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's trying to sell it, and I'm like,
There's no way.
This car is not sell worthy.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
sellable.
this is metal scrap, if anything.
Yeah.
He's like, well, the cage. I'm like, the cage.
What cage?
What about the cage?
Yeah.
You got to redo the whole floor. Like, now you need a floor. You have a cage, but you don't have a floor.
Yeah. Who needs a floor? I mean, people cut those floors all the time and welded in floors. I guess you could do that.
Yes, you can, but geez, it's a lot of work.
Anyways. Yeah.
Okay. One of the things that I wanted to bring up to you guys, and okay.
FTF
right.
has his own podcast.
Hang on. So,
Everybody's got their own podcast, and they do better.
but his so Josiah Fallaise on his show, podcast, he had I forgot his name, RJ
Big Duck
Drifts,
Club, RJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
the guy that
Big Duck Club.
co-founder of Hophead Autofest, along with some of
he's
the
a
other.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the co-founder of Hophead Autofest, along with Jeff Jones. And he had him on the show, and I mean, it's a great conversation. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so. But one of the things that stood out to me was Josiah has an idea for a different type of judging format, whereby, and I'll play it. I think I got the right time stamp for it, but it's somewhere along the lines of having four judges, and then you have two judges just focused on the lead driver, and two judges focused on the chase driver.
Sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah,
But yeah, so let me go.
Didn't we
ahead.
try something like that?
we tried zones. Remember that we tried
we tried
I
zone.
thought the zone thing was a good idea, but it
so that
didn't
way they can win different zones.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
we tried that, but
I pissed off Lee Yearwood.
Well,
Lee Yearwood was angry.
That's because it was different. Anything you do different is going to piss somebody off, and Lee Yearwood doesn't really count.
See, based on our experience, yes, I agree with that. That every time we've tried to sort of test something out or do something different, we experience a lot of pushback from it. Whether some of it was valid, others was really kind of absurd. And I just think that, I don't know if it's a thing where people are just unwilling to accept any sort of change, or they're just comfortable with the way how things are in regards to drifting.
They complain about that too. So
With what?
the current judging, people complain about that all the time.
People just complain. That's the problem.
That's a good point.
That's the thing.
True. But I just think that with that mindset, you're not allowing perhaps some other types of drifting or other types of judging criteria to be able to flourish and maybe improve the sport. But I mean, I just remember thinking back to the King and Con line, how we did that series. The 1 year we had it where we had like 4 rounds, I guess you can say, and every round was kind of like a qualifying round. So wherever you ended up, we would treat it as a competition, and then wherever you would end up and results, you would get X amount of points.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to the final event, then whoever was at the top 32 of that leaderboard was eligible to compete for
Right.
the final King of Con line.
Right. You had to earn your top 32 spot through the other events.
Right. And then at the same time, it would also, I think if I recall correctly, we did away with qualifying for the final round because we already had our
32.
top 32
Yeah.
and placed and everything. So
I thought that worked out well.
yeah, I thought so too. But I do remember getting a lot of pushback from it. I remember people just being like, "This is ridiculous. Why are we doing this? It should just be like a regular thing." And I think at the end of the day, though, it worked. I mean, to some extent, it worked. There were some issues. I think there was like 1 or 2 people that couldn't make it out because for whatever reason the car wasn't ready or the schedule wasn't working out.
But you don't design the event around the driver.
Of course.
Yeah. So.
But I just think that with all of the other ideas that we tried to do, yeah, some worked, but I think I would have liked to have explore more. I mean, we've tossed some more ideas back and forth, but it just, I think it was just a concern of just whether or not people would be willing to be receptive to it.
Yeah. I like the zone thing for tandem. I thought it was cool.
We did that at USDC.
And,
one of the first rounds of USDC, or one of the first events of the USDC. We did judgings. We split the track into 3 zones, and we had a judge for each zone. And
when we say zones, sorry to cut you off. We still had outside zones and inside clips, but there was judging zones. So each judge, you had 3 judges, and each one judged the zone.
the idea is that it's hard for judges to, especially in grassroots events, to see the whole track because you don't get a good vantage point. You don't have back then we didn't have live streams and stuff like that. So this was letting the judge just focus on that one area and really critique it, and then have the next judge take over from there, and the next judge, and we were placed around the track. We weren't together.
Yeah, judges were separate, and I thought that was a good idea because you've seen it in the past, and we've heard things about different events how the judges kind of get together, and then you may have a judge that gets swayed by the other 2 judges. No, man, what are you talking about? They totally kill it. Well, no, I don't think. And then they can debate it. This was you're separating the judges, and you're like, judge number 1, who won your zone? Judge number 2, who won your zone? And the best 2 out of 3, right?
So you would actually have you could flip flop. So like zone 1, you could win zone 1 and then lose zone 2, but then win zone 3.
Right. So like you can get gapped down the straight and during the first zone on the initiation, but then when you get into zone 2 and 3, you caught back up again, and now you're on their door, right?
Yeah. So it really gives you 6 areas to win rather than just 1 run and 2 run. So I think I still would be interested to see that implemented a little bit harder, and just kind of like tweak it and see if you could get it to work, because it adds a new dynamic. Because like, again, if you get gapped because the car is, just set up to, grip really good, and you can catch up later.
Well, the problem is a lot of times what will happen, there'll be one part of the track where the judges are wowed. Okay, for instance, and this was at that America's Union event at the kart track, there was a driver that like manjied the whole straight, and all the judges lost their mind because they manjied down the straight. And I thought it was ridiculous, but like they were like, "Whoa, it was insane entry!" And we're talking. I thought it was utterly ridiculous how they were losing their minds over the entry, and that driver could have failed the rest of the course, but because they impacted the judges on that one area of the track, it gives that driver the win. So that eliminates that, right? You can't just have one like, oh, they're on his door, and then it just leaves all the judges with this impression, right? Because that's what happens. We're just naturally are going to remember the most impactful moment of the run.
X factor,
right? The most impactful moment. This eliminates that X factor, or that impactful moment, because that judge maybe, wow, that was great, but
you could add a 4th judge as X Factor judge that judges the entire course, the entire run.
Yeah.
So that adds 8 different things that you could win.
I think adding more judges to the pot is well, I don't know. Anyways,
I think that would still be interesting, but you're saying he has a different way of doing it?
Yeah, he has. I thought it was interesting. Let's check it out. Wait, hang on. I just got to
want to develop a type of drifting that I think every other sport has had, and for some reason drifting never has. And it kind of follows suit with what you're saying, focusing on drivers, making them feel like they're valued, which is something that I care a lot about. So my first point is to create a type of judging and scoring for qualifying that stays with the driver somehow. So I'm going to explain this the best I can. For qualifying, there is no longer individual runs. It will never happen in this series. It will always be done in a battle format. So you'll be qualifying in battle. How will that be scored, you ask? It's like, okay, well, we're going to have 2 judges for lead and 2 judges for chase.
Let's pause.
We're not going to have 3 judges, and we're not going to...
Because I don't think it's going to be a good way to break this down and remember it all.
Okay.
I think that's a horrible idea to qualify tandem, because the amount of crashes that could happen in a tandem qualification. I mean, hell, look, James Dean got practically destroyed in a practice.
Yeah.
And to have qualifying tandem, I don't agree with that.
You could only do it at the pro level where the drivers are all capable of tandeming. You couldn't do that on a ProAm.
No, but even
course.
if
It'd
but
have to be pro level only
Right,
drivers.
but I just still I don't see what the point of that is. Like, why would you? Because then you don't even. How are you gonna pair them? Like, how are you gonna like? That doesn't make any sense. Okay,
Well, it doesn't. Well,
Let's-
it's what Tim pointed out not too long ago, and a couple of episodes ago, is that it doesn't matter who you go up against. You're supposed to just. There's a certain expectation when
guess,
you're
but I'm saying you could
at a
have-
pro level competition that you're supposed to drive with, and if you're going to be competing at this level, you're supposed to be able to drive against anybody and be able to adapt against anybody that's thrown at you.
But I just don't. I don't know. So to me, it's like you could be thrown against some people that are just not on your same level, and could cause you to throw your car in the wall, and it's just.
He's trying to make qualifying more exciting.
Yeah, I get it, and it would make qualifying more exciting. But to me, stop that.
Stop what?
Stop qualifying. Get rid of if qualifying's not exciting. Get rid of it.
So then, how do you determine
Random draw.
brackets? Random draw.
I don't think random draw.
I think random draw
I
is-
think
why not?
I think you come up with a battle style
Or wait, hold on a second.
ranking.
Or you have one qualifying at the very first round, and then from then on, you are battling against the order of points.
Or how about this? Yeah, qualifying
So
is
one
done.
qualifying round in the
Qualifying's
beginning.
done. Qualifying's done off, not even broadcast. It's like when they do the tech, they do qualifying. They have it like a standard procedure, like it has all of the different types of
like when they
turns
try
in it
F1,
or
right?
whatever.
They qualify they don't qualify the day that they race, do they?
Correct.
They usually the day
Well,
before or
it's the
something
same
like that.
thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Formula Drift's the
Right.
same thing.
Well, but anyways, so just do one qualifying round at the beginning of the season, and then from that on, each round after you are based on your points. There's no reason to qualify because depending on how well you do that round is going to depend where you fall in the qualifying bracket the rest of the season. And those people that get zeros, I mean, then it's just the luck of the. There's nothing you do but you get a zero, you get a zero, right? But everybody should be able to walk away with at least a couple points in qualifying.
My thing is the opposite of that. Mine is that exhibition style. You work your way up at like there's scheduled events. Every event you get a chance to go against this guy. This guy is in this place in the bracket. If you beat him, you can challenge the next guy that's above
You're
him.
talking about like
Just like fighting, just like UFC.
or like Street Outlaws, right? You have
Whatever,
your top
but-
10, and then you're battling for those positions. But I think what I'm saying is you have one qualifying event. Everybody gets points on this qualifying event, and that sets the bracket. And as they win competitions, they can build up in the bracket or they can drop down in the bracket. So round 2, the winners, depending on the qualifying score plus their first qualifying score plus whatever points they earned during that first competition is going to establish a ranking. And then just the rest of the seasons, you just use that same ranking. You don't need to run qualifying again.
There is a problem though.
Why?
The problem is that, let's say for instance you have someone like Von Gittin Jr. who doesn't appear in the first 2 rounds.
What's the problem with that?
And you already have 32 drivers. How is he got to fit into?
Who cares? You don't design an event around the driver. We just talked about that. That's on the driver and the team. If he decides in the beginning of the season that he only wants to compete half the rounds, he's not going to win the championship regardless.
Right.
So what does it matter? Why would you change that according to that?
Well, it matters because then if you already have 32 drivers locked in, if let's say for instance the round 1, you have 32 drivers that competed. Round 2, you still have those same 32 drivers, but then Von Gittin Jr., who missed round 1, is going to round 2. How is he going to be able to compete if there's already 32 drivers?
What does it matter? You don't. If you're not doing a full season, why are you doing a formula? Why are you doing a pro competition?
Well, you should ask Vaughn because that's what he did.
Well, because he can, because it's set up that he can do that. I'm saying don't set it up. So why would you? What I'm saying is why are you going to design a series so you can cater to drivers that may or may not compete the whole season? That makes no sense. You don't. That's with anything, right? You don't appeal to the needs of the few, right? It's always the needs of the many. If you're going to run a series, you say we're doing a qualifying event. If he knows there's a qualifying event, well, he damn sure better be there if he wants to compete. If he doesn't want to compete, then he doesn't want to compete. Now, you could qualify 50 drivers, right? So if a driver doesn't show up, then that event, maybe they can move up so you're not doing buy runs. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see why you would design an event, a series, around the what if a driver only wants to compete half the series. Who cares? If he wants to compete half the series, then tell him to go drift somewhere else.
Well, that's just like you mentioned already. That's just how it is now.
Right.
But what you're suggesting is not only a restructuring of the qualifying, but also restructuring of the whole series itself.
Yeah. The only thing you're doing one qualifying round. You're using the points system in order to determine your bracket for the next event after that. And like I said, you do a qualifying. Every driver that wants to compete that season can show up there and get some points for that one event, qualifying event. Later on, if a driver drops out, then you have a pot of drivers that can fill the gap if you need to, or you just do a buy run. I don't see why it's a big deal. All those drivers are going to do every round just unless they break anyways.
Well, it also does away with wild cards too.
You know, wild cards, you have your top 32. You know, the driver's going to be there. The fans don't know who's going to be there. And I don't know. That's just one idea. I'm sure there's many out there. But
Interesting.
Because qualifying sucks. Nobody likes watching. But anyway, so he's
Qualifying does
trying to
suck.
come up with a different type of qualifying. So let's see what else he has to say.
Yeah.
I follow the same criteria that everything has ever followed ever, because I'm a trailblazer and we don't do things like other people. So this is going to be my own format, and I actually want to call it FDF judging style, because whenever we go into competitions, they always say, do you guys want FD style judging, or do you want this style, or like your traditional line angle style? And I'm like, who said that it was so-and-so's thing? So whatever. Anyways, this is going to be 2 judges for the lead, 2 judges for the chase. The 2 for the chase are going to only judge chase all day long. That will be judged out of 50 points. The lead judges are going to be judging lead runs all day long. That will be judged out of 50. The track will not be broken down into zone, interclip, zone, whatever the format may be. It will be judged by 5 sections. Section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll be judged out of 10 points per section. So your initiation, let's say you're initiating into a zone. That will be your section 1. You will be judged out of 10 on the first section. As soon as you initiate, let's say you were not quite on the wall, and you went through and you got into the zone maybe a bit late, you get a 7 out of 10. And you follow the track until you reach 50 points. In a battle format, let's say it's me versus you. I'm leading first, you're chasing. The judges are going to judge me on how I was in each section, which can be broken down into line, angle, and style for the lead. You are the chase driver. You are going to be judged on mimicking my angle and my line and proximity. So how good were you able to match me, and how close were you doing it?
Correct.
So what's going to happen is this will change the way that chase drivers drive forever. Because the worst thing that happens is when you have 2 cars and let's say the lead driver is a crappy run. The chase driver now knows that he doesn't need to do much. He just needs to be there, 2, 3 cars back, and he'll be good. He'll win the battle. I don't ever want to see that ever again. I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. When you go into a finals battle, someone makes a mistake and they're like hanging back 6 cars. I hate it. That would be a 0 in the chase position, and you never want to do that. So what's going to happen is once after the first run, say I lay a killer lead, I got 45 out of 50. Let's say you did a pretty good chase, 42. This is where it gets interesting. Those scores will be posted live before the second half of the battle. So going into our second half of the battle, you will know that I have the advantage, and everyone else will know. I'm sitting with a 45, you're sitting with a 42. You are going to have to kill it in the lead in order to up my 3-point advantage. I'm going to have to do everything I can to hold on to it, because I know you're going to go hard. And I have to at least match a 43 in the chase, which is really good.
Yeah.
So when I compete, I'm going to be dooring you so hard because of how well you did, and then you need to hit every single point perfectly. There's no room for saying, you don't really need to do a full kill run. You just need to do pretty good. Like, that'll be dead in the water. And you'll lose immediately. So the battle concludes. Let's say I messed up in the chase. I got a 36, and you did do a killer lead, 42. Add those two together. There's your winner.
Yeah.
OMTs will be almost non-existent. The fans are going to know so fast who's winning and who won. There will be almost no deliberation. It's basic math. Judging by section, what I imagine is them driving through the course and the judge just has 1 through 5. And as you go through the zone, they're just going to write a number. It's 8, 7, 10, 7, 8. And then they're going to look back. They're going to confirm on the live stream, and then that's your score. Simple as that. And then they're going to post it right away. This is going to remove so much unconscious bias, so much time spent on a unconscious bias and opinion and everything else going on with waiting and time. Imagine there was a 5-minute call between the 2 runs. I hate that because now you're watching the second half of the battle with a massive space and an entire battle in between the 2.
Yeah.
How can you possibly decide, or no, we're human beings. Any human being can't focus on more than I think it's 4 or 5 things.
Yeah.
But in drifting, we're trying to look at 40 different variables here. So this is the format that I want to go with. And then to go even beyond what this is, which is going to change drifting as it is.
Yeah.
Because people are throwing these scenarios at me. They're like, well, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? And what if the chase driver messes up and does something to the lead? And I said, these are all variations that happen today and are horribly dealt with.
Yeah.
Horribly dealt with. I will never have to deal with the stupidest thing that I hate in drifting, and it's when the chase driver blames the lead car for the smallest things. He braked slightly before the brake zone, and I hit him, and it's like, dude, you are being judged on how well you can adapt.
Yeah.
If the lead driver makes a mistake, he will be scored on that on his own. If the chase driver is able to mimic that mistake, you will be rewarded on your own. If he gets a 40, you can still get a 50. You know what I mean? This will change drifting.
There's actually a point to this.
So
One thing I think 5 zones is too much.
Yeah, too much for.
It's going too fast. I think trying to keep track of 5 zones is too much. I think the
Three
three
zones
zones
is reasonable.
is more. You have more time to, if you break a track, especially some of these smaller tracks into 5 separate zones. That's hard to compute in your mind, like for anybody.
I think it also depends on the size of the track too. I mean, Irwindale probably see maybe like
Or
5 zones.
If you're gonna have 2 judges, what I would suggest is break the track into 4 zones.
Actually 4 judges, sir.
2 judges for each follow and yeah. So break it into 4. Overlap their judging. So say follow judge is 1 and 2. Follow judge 1 gets zone 1 and 3. Follow judge 2 gets zone 2 and 4. So he can focus on zone 1. Okay, judge 1 can focus on zone 1. Okay, compute that in his brain. He has time because he has
That works.
boom.
Yeah.
And then by the zone 3, he's ready to kick back in and brain work again and focus for 5 seconds, and then compute that, and then they both kind of lead lag that. And the same thing with the lead judges, the 2 lead judges. And I think if you do it that way, break it into 4, and then leave a little gap between, it gives their brain a break. Okay, let me think. Okay, that was a 5. Boom, focus. Boom, back on.
Yeah, stagger. I think that's a good idea.
I think staggering the zones for the judge. I think what he has there is very similar to what we're talking about originally. It's just we didn't have replays to look back at, so the idea was that one judge just focuses on this area and gives it his undivided attention. This is kind of like stepping it up to another level to what we wanted to do. So this is like giving a follow and a lead. So now you have so many more chances to win or lose.
Yeah, it does eliminate it one more times, which could drag on.
And I do agree with him. Like, it does suck to know that you have it in the bag. like the guy has it in the bag, right? Because the guy did a crappy lead, and now you can.
The guy's not going to give it his all on the chase.
Yeah, he's going to give it his all.
He's gonna like, sandbag it. But I think they need to bring back the speed guns too. I think knowing the speed on entry is. I think that could be utilized.
Entry speed is important.
I think entry speed is important. Yeah, I think that should be part of the judging as well. I think they need to bring that back in.
Wonder why they took it out.
That could be your X factor points.
That could be. So depends on how you divide the points. That could be your 1 out of 10 points if you're doing, depending on how you're dividing the score up, right?
Well, if like I said, if you break it into 4 zones, then that could be your extra 10 points for the 50.
Yeah.
So you'd be 10 points for speed, and then 40
10 points per each
spread.
zone, and then your 10 points is your speed. And then you do the speed. You can determine that during, if you're doing where you're qualifying, you could just look at the average speed and the highest speed, and then that's the 10, right? The highest speed of the day during practice and qualifying. Just have somebody watch it. Who went the fastest, actually completed a lap. That's the highest. That's a 10. If you get that speed, that's a 10.
Would you be willing to, let's say, for instance, add a clause where if, let's say, they achieve the highest entry speed, but they have to finish the run?
Well, yeah, you have to finish. Of course you have to finish the run.
Well, it's possible they could achieve the the highest entry speed, but then midway through the run, they go off track.
Well, no, 0-0. The 0 trumps everything.
Okay.
You 0 out your run, you get a 0 for the whole thing. You don't get any points for speed. The speed is just that bonus points. If you're getting other points, then that becomes an eligible part of, or a part of your overall score.
Right. Yeah. Now, I only say that because if you're going to be utilizing the highest entry speed as the benchmark, then, and let's say, for instance, the first half of the track, which includes the entry speed, obviously, they're able to actually hit the marks with no problems whatsoever. But the second half, they go off track. So then...
That's a 0.
Yeah, obviously it's a 0. So then, even though, like, let's say, for instance, 106 miles per hour is attainable because we saw one driver pull it off.
Yeah.
But then in that score, that run, they earned themselves a 0. But then, so then the next highest speed was a 96. But then the 96 then will become the top benchmark.
Well, if he gets a 96 and completes his run, you could do 200 miles an hour in an entry and just slam it to the wall. Like 200 miles is the benchmark. Right. We do the highest speed with a completed run.
Yeah.
That doesn't take long. A lot of the drivers, especially the top tier drivers, they're all going to be pretty close to each other on their entry speeds. It won't take long.
You can decide. There could be for each track you can decide, hey, 10 points is 110 miles an hour,
80 miles an hour, whatever the track is. It's a slow track.
Say, hey, you can decide that, but push them, and hey, if you can go, I would put the 10 points a little above what's achievable. You know what I mean? So if he actually can do it, like, oh my God, he's like. Take what's reasonable and then up at 10 up
at 10 miles per hour.
10 miles an hour.
Well, add a number throughout the day as the day progresses, just to see.
Our max speed was 60, but anybody hits 120. What do you mean 120?
Yeah.
Well, if you 120, you get 10.
I think that would work. I think that's a good way. I think 5 zones is way too many. I think getting 4 judges to get beat up is hard to find.
Well,
it's hard to find 4 people that have good attention span that also like being ridiculed.
But I think
yeah, and are good at math too.
Yeah, and also can do math.
I think his idea of splitting the zone where I'm only judging this, and then the other guy takes over, and then I take over, and then he takes over. That'll help because it's a lot to calculate. 5 zones for each person to calculate. And when they're going so fast through the course to define. I'm supposed to come up. He's already in the next zone, and I got to think of another point. I think that's too many zones.
That's too much definition. We went from what is it? Just standard definition to 4K. I mean, he really went to high def.
Yeah,
that's four judges. Judging 5 zones, that's a lot.
And not only that
judging.
is I don't think you really need to do 10 points per zone. I think I won this zone, lost this zone, won this zone, lost this zone, and you just do 1 point per zone. There's really no
His
reason.
thing is because if you're doing follow lead, you have to get points.
Well, yeah, you can give 1 point. He won this one. He lost this one.
No,
he
but
won
because you're not judging. You're not judging the lead. And you're not judging the follow.
Oh, I see. You're judging. Basically, you're judging a qualifying run.
You're judging a qualifying run. Yeah.
Or how well he tandems.
Yeah.
Right. You're not saying who did better, who defeated who through each zone. You're basically scoring them as a qualifying score.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
I think that's complicated. It's a lot to add up to be able to do it like that quick as they're going through zones. Staggering them, I think, would good. Like what we did, we just did zones, and you won a zone, and you got 1 point, and you had a max of 3 points. So whoever walked away, you can't get. Both drivers can't get 3.
There's 20 different areas for points in the way he's doing it, because each judge has 5 zones, so that's 20 different scores. It's 20 scores.
Yeah.
For both runs.
No. For
For
just
one
one.
Oh, yeah, for one run.
It's 20 scores for one run.
Yeah.
That's a lot of scores. That's 40 scores for 2 runs. And you're like, holy cow, like that's a lot of math.
I think that's too much.
That's too much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm wanting to, like what you're suggesting. I think
more reasonable.
It's not only is more reasonable, but I think it kind of like helps it out a little, like simplify it a little bit better.
Simplifies it a little more. I think we don't need that level of definition. He just, like I said, when he took a huge jump in definition or like how to define it, it doesn't need to be defined that much. I think he's in the right, like going the right way with it, but I think you step it down a little bit. You don't need to be as hyper. Maybe he's a very detailed guy. That's why he likes it like that. But that's extremely detailed. It doesn't need to be that detailed. But
I think application is going to be hard.
I think the application is hard. I think it's hard to find 4 people that can do that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge.
I think having them staggered gives them more time to focus because, like he said, you're only going to be able to focus on so many things for so long before your brain drifts off or you get distracted. If you give yourself 5 seconds, you can focus for 5 seconds and zone in, and then you can pop out and then zone back in for another 5 seconds.
So 2 judges scoring lead, 2 judges scoring follow, 4 zones. Each judge of the lead and the follow will take 2 zones apiece. That's much easier to be able to teach a judge on how to judge that than it is both judges are judging 5 zones each and having to write down 8 say 4 2 that's and it goes through the course so fast,
making it sound like an auction sale or something.
Basically it is, right? Where like he's saying if that first section by the time he gets to the third section he'd be like, okay, you got like a 6, whatever. And then it's still very subjective.
Oh, of course.
What determines
there's no denying it.
Yeah, where's how do you determining a 10 is going to be the key. And but still a 0 has got to be a 0, right?
And my thing,
a 0's got to trump everything. So if somebody zeroes out in one zone, it's a 0 no matter what. Nothing else counts. You can't zero out a zone. If you zero out a zone, and you shouldn't be able to get points for the other zones. Because that means people could drop 2 tires off. People can drive straight through a zone if they want to and still get points. A 0 is a 0, no matter what.
No, I think I like if you spin at the end of the 4th zone, that zeroes that zone. I don't think you zero the whole run.
I think you should.
I don't think you should.
Because they should be able to complete a whole run. You shouldn't be allowed to zero out a zone and still get points for your other zones. I think just 0 is a 0.
Well, that's the reason we came up with that was because if you zeros, because we had so many people zero.
No, we didn't come up with that because people were zeroing. No, we came up with that because I was we wanted to try something different. If you got a 0, you got a 0. When Giacomo hit the wall, he got a 0. Got a 0. Someone went off course, you got a 0. It just runs a 0.
Well, and like you mentioned prior to this, is the other motivation towards that sort of judging style is to separate the judges so that way one doesn't influence the other.
That's why we did what we did, right? That was one of the things too. Is each judge is in a different spot, and then you have one person say, "Okay, who won this zone? oh, this person won that zone. You can tally up the points, and you well, he won 2 out of 3 zones. He's going to advance. He won.
But that's. I mean, I see your point, Tim, and I also see Paul's. But it's really up to. I think it's up to Josiah to figure that one out.
Well,
If he wants to consider.
I don't think he would listen to anything we said, anyways.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think this is 100% his decision. But I'm saying I think you take some of his and take some of ours, and I think that is actually the best design.
It's hard to say until you actually implement it,
Of course.
and then you have that.
And I'm thinking like you would even the way I would prefer it would be actually to separate all 4 judges, put them in a booth, and just if we could, I would want to play the first section on one camera, play the first section right after on another camera.
Hey, okay.
And then play the third section on one camera, play the third section on another camera, and then he gives his points.
No, that'll take too long. The run show will take too long. It has to be
No. This is all in a back room. It's automatically happening.
Oh, that's some serious live streaming work.
Well,
That's some pretty serious.
but
Have
you
to
understand
edit
what I
that?
mean.
You'd
saying that's all happening
You'd
while
have to
the
have 4
runs-
dedicated cameras.
Right.
4 dedicated cameras that only film one section of the course.
Yeah,
And then you could do it.
Right. It's doable. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
because
it
you
can
could
happen.
say this guy, only thing he sees on his screen is zones 1 and 3. Because you have one camera on 1 camera on 3. It's got 2 screens. I watch him through 1. I watch him through 3. The other guy, he only has 2 and 4. And he watches through 2 and he watches through 4.
It really removes.
And then for the live stream, you can do whatever you want for a live stream.
Of course.
But that completely removes the bias.
Yeah, and separate the judges. I think the judges
And
should
the
be separate.
influence, too.
Well,
I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
absolutely.
separate
The
booths.
judges
Boom,
have
boom,
to be.
boom, boom.
I think the judges
Four booths.
absolutely should be separated.
4 booths. They have a direct feed of just this area. Like little pigeons in there, just picking. Have you ever seen the
Debo's pigeon coop.
Have you ever seen the pigeons that used to guide missiles?
What?
What is it?
No.
Yeah, so like before there was actually targeting systems on missiles, they would actually just put a pigeon inside the bomb.
What?
And they would train a pigeon. Yeah, you never seen this before?
No.
You gotta look it up. Look up
No,
pigeon
no,
targeting.
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
look
no,
this
no.
up.
How could a pigeon tell the bomb where to go inside?
Because the
It coos. It
no,
coos
the pigeon gets a visual of where it was aimed, and it pecks at the whatever it's supposed to.
What?
And that repositions the I'm telling you the truth. This is how they used to
Those
use.
poor pigeons. They
Yeah,
died.
the portraits. Yeah, they just peck to the death.
I never heard of that.
It's the way the missile was targeted. The pigeon just kept on pecking at the target, and it would reposition the missile,
And it would steer the missile.
steer the missile. Yeah,
Would they bother to give the pigeon a helmet with goggles or something, safety equipment, a harness?
just every time he pecks it, he gets food. Every time he pecks it, he gets a little food, and then peck, boom, peck. Yeah,
Whatever. Anyways.
pigeoning targeting system. That's what we'll do. Every time the judge judges something,
pigeons.
we'll give him a little wing, a little
Like a chicken wing. Or like a mini corn dog or something.
Noel would be super motivated.
No, I love that.
No.
Well, we'll get
chicken wings.
Miami Grill, right? Pepe, chicken wing. Num 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 num. Oh, wait, another chicken. Could you just imagine have like a little dispenser, sports grill wing pops out. Num 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 num. Every zone. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, see, that could be.
I don't think I've been last so just a visual, right?
Little wings popping out. I did good.
Oh man.
Oh, see,
Man, I'm in
Sports
tears.
grill, right? Sports grill. Is that
Sports
what-
grill.
Yeah, sports grill.
You're like, it's like Miami grill sauce. This is teriyaki.
I did good.
I'm dead.
That's good incentive. People want to eat wings.
Yeah. That's a good judging system. I think we need a petition.
All right. Before we wrap up, there's a couple of comments that
Well,
I
somebody's
wanna
watching?
share. Yeah.
Oh, you losers.
That's just wow. I'm just wow. I'm just wow. Okay.
Yeah.
DCSA row NASCAR is easy to watch. Time race. Drift is not for the same target audience. The DOS from D1GP looks very inconsistent. Only 2 judges to make deductions. Also, DMEC has its flaws with 3 judges. Chris N said hello. Good evening. And then DCSA wrote again. He just this is I assume referring to Josiah. He described a hybrid DMEC judge style. Sounds good, but let's see it on track. If any glitches pops up from it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Comes
yeah.
to implementing it, right? And I think that 5 zones is I think it's too many zones. It's too fast to just be able to, unless you had chicken wings that pop out. but no, it's too much to compute too quickly. I think the general consensus is something has to change, right?
Yeah,
something
we've spoken
has
about
to
it at
change.
length.
And whether it's one, the run of show has to change. I think for Formula Drift, they have to streamline it. They have to shorten a lot of things and make it more exciting for the audience. But regardless, the judging has to be. So the thing with the judging that I think is going to help drifting is it really needs to be something that's easy for anybody to understand. The more complicated you make, the more drift fans are just like, oh, I don't get it, who won? And then you have to go into this explanation. It should be a very simple.
That's why the points, that's another reason I don't like the points. I rather just say win per zone.
Right.
Win loss per zone, because that gives you more definition to win or across the track. So if you get gapped, you could still win. But it's easier for people to know. Okay, oh boom, he won the.
Yeah.
That's
what distinguishes 4 points from 7 points? Right.
Yeah.
That's why I think winning per zone. Okay, he won this zone. You get 3 points for winning, 1 point for losing. They could tie the zone, right, and get 2 points. Whatever.
They could do the points, but what they could do instead of saying the points, what they could just say is he won that zone, he lost this zone.
Right.
That's what you.
It has to be something that, for at least for like, in my opinion, for
you have to put it in layman's terms for the
terms. Make it simple that new fans can understand it. Oh, okay, he won that zone. He won that zone. He won that zone. It's simple. You can do the math. Not like, well, he got 4 points and he got 7 points. Well, what determines 4 and 7 points? That's really, you know what I'm saying? That's really close. Like, how are you? And he was saying that you're not going to have inner clips and outer zones and stuff that they're judging by. You're judging per. That's what he said earlier.
Yeah, he did say
said,
no outer zones,
no outer zone, no inner clips.
So it's like,
what are they judging them on? Right? What are you judging them on? I think the outer zones and inner clips are necessity. But I think winning the zones, I think you can go to anybody and say, okay, we have the track in 3 separate zones, and you could win this zone, lose that zone, and win this zone, and the best whatever zones you want to do. I think being able to make it, like you said, quick and easy to explain. And you're just thinking of the chicken wings popping out. Pecking. Anyways,
you guys got to check that out.
Yeah.
Pigeon targeting system.
Whatever they come up with, whatever somebody is able to.
You can't control stuff.
Whatever judging criteria somebody comes up with, implementing it is going to be extremely difficult because people are going to reject it because something different. 2, I really think making something that is easy for anybody to understand who won and who lost is going to be key. Because I think that'll bring the audience more.
That's the problem we had at Freedom Factory, because we had a lot of non-drifting, audience that didn't. They were just coming because Cletus. It was Cletus's thing,
right?
And they was like, "Who won? I don't understand who won."
Right.
Like same thing at Ellis Fest. So like, I don't know who won. Who won?
Right.
Like they don't clearly see who won. So how do you make drifting where it's okay? It's clear to see this is who won.
Right.
This is who won.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to get it to that point. I think.
Well, easy. You say this car with this color won.
This car with this color won. No, but why? And then that goes back to another thing as far as the future of
everybody
drifting.
gets wing.
Yeah, is making drifting more into a spectator orientated sport, right? So it's now you're focusing more on the show of it.
Who's getting the biggest wows?
Who's getting
right?
the biggest wows? I'm not saying you give the audience the free vote and say who won, but what I'm saying is making it easy for the audience to understand why the judges are choosing the winners, and then making the tracks and the events in such a way that the run of show is quick, so it's entertaining, and you just get rid of this long, drawn out 7-hour live stream where it's qualifying and there's 10, 15 minutes downtime in between. That's where you lose people.
I mean, it's not racing. You can't. It's not timed. It's not. We don't check speeds. It's figure skating, so it's got to be.
See, it's not even figure skating because, like I said, in figure skating and gymnastics, there are predetermined moves. When we talked about the,
you're right. Yeah,
the shot callers thing that I was telling you about.
Yeah,
that we're talking about is that they have the routine lined out. The judges know, okay, they're going to do this. They're going to go from this move into this move, and they're going to judge how they perform those moves, right?
Yeah.
So it's really not like figure skating.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's not even like skateboarding. Skateboarding, I think they do the same thing. They have their moves lined up in advance, and they're judged on how well they
can execute them.
Connect the moves together. Drifting is not really like that, right?
Yeah. So there's the structure right there. That okay, what is similar? That's a judged sport that doesn't have a predetermined. Hey, this is what I'm going to do, and I think that's why that's why we had to define the line, right?
Well, boxing is similar.
Boxing is
judged
about
sport. But
how
now they're
many
counting
hits
how many
are
times.
landed.
Right, they're counting how many tits.
It's kind of the tits.
Not those. Not that boxing. My bad. Wrong type of boxing. I wasn't. Anyways, hits, punches, landed. My bad. I'm gonna shut up.
Well, boxing's boxing's kind of that's an argument too. It's like how many punches did they punch and how many did actually landed. That kind of I don't know. Drifting is such a hard thing, but like even that pisses off people all the time. It's like
yes,
boxing.
Split decision.
Boxing lost its prime, and the only reason it came back is because of freaking Jake Paul and Logan Paul and all those guys kind of brought it back. But other than that, that's the reason it lost because you get these decisions. You're like, I don't think I didn't see that. I didn't see this guy's winning. Yeah. That's the problem I always hated with boxing. That's the great thing. That's why MMA was so good. Is because this guy just beat the hell out of that guy.
Right, he submitted him. Right, there's submissions.
Not getting back up.
There's multiple more ways to win.
It's
and control and establish control and
knockout
dominance.
is or submission was more common in MMA.
Or just domination, like with George St. Pierre. Like he would just dominate somebody. He wouldn't necessarily choke him out, but he would just control him the whole time and he would win.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyways, I don't know. Drifting is an anomaly when it comes to judging because it's not. I don't know what other sport you could say it's really like. Like initially, I used to say it was like figure skating or gymnastics, but then when I started looking into that, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not
my
because
dad does gymnastics.
Right.
Yeah.
They have we're going to do this, and they judge them on how well they do what they said they're going to do, and then each depending on they can do a lot of high level moves, right? But drifting is everybody's attempting the same thing. Chicken wings.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, no, I don't know how you make it because this is gonna make it way more complicated.
Yeah, and the drift box doesn't work, right? Because we've seen that in the past. That
to me, that's the thing that would make sense if you could get the computer to come up with a score and then automatically generate that on the screen for the viewers to see, like a drift bar, and then they can see who's winning.
Right, but then it goes back to Then it goes back to like learning how to fool the box, right, or the algorithm, how to play the algorithm, right? Where you can get a high score on the box, but in reality, it wasn't really that great of a run.
Yeah,
which is happening already.
Right, which happens yet. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in another 50 years where drifting is.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, we
there.
won't, but
yeah.
Maybe some of you will.
We have one other show before the Black Friday. We have, hopefully everything works out, a very special guest. More details will be announced soon enough. We just gotta
everybody. I think you weren't going to tell them, or are you?
I think you should.
I think you should say.
No, not yet.
Why not?
Well, because remember last time we said we were gonna have a special guest, and then it didn't pan out for whatever
I
reason.
see. So
okay.
we need to get it locked down.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
just
Well,
confirmations.
we
and everything.
we don't even know who the guest is. Not to give any hints, but nobody really knows who this guest is.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, be on the lookout for an episode. It won't be a live episode, but it will be coming out, and we will kind of promote it. But it will be. It should be a good episode and something to check out.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, I have a bunch of questions already, but apart from that, like we mentioned earlier before too, Black Friday. King of OSW.
We're looking for commercial spots. Anybody wants to shoot a commercial or give us a commercial to air during the live stream to help us cover, because we do live stream just kind of on our own, and it'd be nice to be able to cover some costs, right?
And give them some opportunity to promote their product or
exactly.
whatever.
So
Shop
anybody wants to sponsor the King of OSW with a commercial, hit us up.
reach out to us.
Yeah. If you want to email, you can driftsessionsmedia@gmail.com. Driftsessionsmedia@gmail.com.
Not just a commercial too, because we can display their logo.
Logos,
throughout
yep.
yeah.
Shirts, if you just want to sponsor us with some gear and we wear on the thing, I'm down with that.
Yeah, hats.
Hats,
You're tired of doing laundry?
chicken wings,
Engines.
engines, yeah. well,
Engines,
Turbos.
Anywho, in any case, folks, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Take care and good night.